Okay, well, here we are again. Marc Muller, Dead on Live, number 3 in a series that I hope is over soon. Dissecting the Dead. I got to come up with a better name than Dissecting the Dead. All right. I'll take. Anyway, in the meantime, Dissecting the Dead, version number 3. And, you know, I might as well do this. Like I said, nothing else much going on. And I have to say, I do sessions for people here on whatever, pedal steels and lap steels, mandolins and drums, whatever. I produce people's music. But there hasn't been a lot of business, of course, lately. But I did do a session today, and it was extremely therapeutic. I didn't watch the news. I didn't check Facebook. I sat in here like I used to do when life was normal, and created music for like 3 hours, and I left the room just feeling energized and like, all right, I'll end, damn it, and watch the news and shot all that. But anyway, what I'm saying is, me doing this, I mean, you can, you know, mute it or turn it off right now, but for me personally, it's really helping me just work through and pretend life is normal. It was something I enjoy doing, and I appreciate your time. You know, if you have 10 minutes to kill, we can talk about Mississippi Halfstep. Okay, number 3. This is, of course, off of Wake of the Flood. It was recorded in August of 1973. My first Grateful Dead concert was September of 73 at Nassau Coliseum. And so this album was not even released yet, but they did. I think I saw one of the only shows with Come On Honey. Keith Godshaw, Let Me Sing Your Blues Away. Okay, and that was also, I believe this record is the first record where Alligator Is Gone, with a new, it's a Strat tone, isn't it? But it ain't, it's not a Strat, it's got something else. You know, I don't have a Wolf. So I think this was his first record with Wolf. It's this 3 single coil Strat pickups. But it, like I said, it has that extra depth of that body must make, you know. So I'm doing a poor man's Wolf. So I'm gonna look at these tracks real quick. The first thing, I guess well, first thing, let's listen to the Grateful Dead. And, you know, as soon, whether you don't know this version at all, you just saw them a million times in concert, and when they played this, boy, as soon as this plays, the record version, the produced as they wanted, they worked on it to make it sound like this. As soon as it starts playing, I just get a big smile on my face. You know, I'm 16 again, I'm 14 again. It's just like when I hear a Beatle record. When I hear Hard Day's Night, I'm like 8 years old again, and it feels good. This old man being 8 again, and 16 again. So as soon as you hear this, I don't know about you, it just puts a big smile. Okay, time to start tuning your ears. Oh, do I have to do this? No, I did that already. I'm just going to look at the bass. Again, it's not the Grateful Dead without the enigmatic Phil, and Billy, and Bob, and Jerry, and Keith. Each one of them are just so wacky that when you put that whack together, well, you know. But listen to what he does in the choruses. Half step. You know, if this was a bass player like on a regular top 40 gig and played something like this, he would get fired right away. But here, listen, it's so cool. Bass is muted, my MIDI bass. Everything's muted. So let's just tune your ears again. And again, through this phone thing, I hope it works, where you can hear the bass clearly enough. So he just sets up the beginning of that half step with the weirdest stuff, the filliest stuff, the lessiest stuff. I'm going to go to the second chorus, and he does the same thing again. Just it's a counter. Anything a normal bass player would do to hold down the thing, it's opposite. But it works so well. It's like a jigsaw puzzle with what Bobby's doing and Jerry just chugging along. And of course, Billy Kreutzmann is back there just dancing through the whole thing. His left foot on this song is amazing. Ever flapping away, flip-flopping away in just the grooviest kind of way. But we'll take a look at that in a second. Here's the second Phil Lesh chorus. Is your ear getting tuned? Are you getting used to this process here? You gotta tune your ears, shut off all the other stuff, and just listen to the one instrument at a time. Here's the third chorus, Phil. Okay, and like with the other ones, I'm going to include my MIDI bass track. It's a sample. I played along. Took me a little bit, but you'll hear my bass on top, and it'll emphasize just how wacky this is in a good way. Number two. It's just the best ever. Let's take a look at Weir. And I'm just going to look at the intro, how unique. Tune your ear, turn off the other guy. He's on one side, but we'll listen to the stereo track because I'm too lazy right now. You know what Jerry sounds like here, of course. Right? So listen to the other guitar. It's going to go like this. Boy, I haven't done it. Anyway, listen to him do it. I replayed it, you know, for the whatever guitar player was doing the Bobby roll in our Dead on Live shows, and they would learn it. They would just listen to the soloed part and figure it out, and then drop it in with the band. Instant Grateful Dead. Listen to the album, Bobby, in the intro. So I'm just going to play my Bob recreation, and what I don't have is that funky, beautiful New Orleans piano. I didn't do that track. I believe Carl Gentry did his own MIDI track of that, figured it out on his own. Go get him, Carl. But here's Bob, me on top. Okay. Oh, the next thing, the fiddle. This is, of course, Vassar Clements, Old and in the Way, Bill Monroe's Kentucky Bluegrass Boys he was with. Yeah, I went through, dug through, and just did a MIDI track, transcribing the fiddle top to bottom. And I actually had two wonderful fiddle players, violin players, do this track. They would read it, the sight read it, like a classical musician. Jason Crosby did it with us in 2018 at the Capitol Theater. But the first guy to do it with us is New Jersey's own, is the best violin guy, musician all around, Gary Oliar. And Gary was like mentored. He worked with Vassar Clements for years. So it was funny, his take on it when I gave him the music and he started learning it. And he's like, oh, look at that. Vassar didn't play the beginning of each new chord. He said, if I know Vassar, he just came in cold. He didn't know the song. He just said roll tape. So that split second of each new chord is his ear learning the song, A minor to a E7, you know what I mean? And I didn't notice that as I'm doing this. But sure enough, if you look at the music as it's printed out, the beginning of each little section is nothing there. It's that brilliant mind learning in the split second what chord is going on. God, that's wonderful. So let's listen to a little bit of the Vassar fiddle part. It comes in. Comes in right here. On the day when I was born, Daddy sat down and cried. I think he plays a lot over Jerry's first solo, so let's just take a listen to that. Tune those ears. Violin land. I'm on my way. On my way. You can't not smile. I'm sorry. And here's my fiddle transcription on top with a cheesy, synth violin. I'm on my way. On my way. All right, so let's just go ahead and play the whole darn song. I'm going to mute the dead. Ew, mute the dead. And I'm going to bring the fiddle in, the MIDI bass, the MIDI fiddle, my guitar track of Bob's guitar. I even went through and did just like a kick snare pattern, not so specific. Boy, if you listen to this, it's a wonderful drum part. I could never program that, and I wouldn't want to. I would shackle a poor drummer to play like this. But I did just do a simple kind of bouncy kick snare for me to play along. I practice this stuff. This is how I practice. I practice to the track and then I mute the dead and play to the MIDI stuff, and that really tests. And I'll probably make mistakes because we haven't done this in a show. We haven't done a show in a while. No one has. Have you? No. Anyway, excuses. Fingers crossed. Here we go. And I did sing the vocal, the harmonies in the back to play with myself, so to speak. Oh, I didn't mute the dead. Mute the dead. Mississippi Halfstep, Uptown Tuladoo. I said it backwards for so many years, I don't even know what right way is now. Okay, here we go. Halfstep, Mississippi uptown. Do-do-do. Hello, baby, I'm gone goodbye. Have a cup of rock and ride. Farewell to you old southern skies. All on my way, on my way. All you've got to live for is what you left behind. Get yourself a powder charge and seal that silver mine. Lost my boots in transit feet, pile of smoking leather. I never retread to my feet and pray for better weather. Halfstep, Mississippi uptown. Do-do-do. Hello, baby, I'm gone goodbye. Have a cup of rock and ride. Farewell to you old southern skies. All on my way, on my way. The ship comes in, first mate takes the sail, second takes the after deck, the third the planks and rails. What's the point of calling shots? This cue ain't straight in line. You're made of styrofoam and no one's got the time. Halfstep, Mississippi uptown. Do-do-do. Hello, baby, I'm gone goodbye. Have a cup of rock and ride. Farewell to you old southern skies. All on my way, on my way, on my way. Across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river, sing along. Across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river. Across the lazy river, across the Rio Grande, across the lazy river. And then then we jam for a while. Dead on Live, we do note for all the good little orchestrated things, but then there's plenty of times we just lay it down and jam. It's so much fun, and I just miss it. We'll see you soon. Peace. Watch the news, stay informed, stay safe, and then turn the news off and go for a walk with your dog. My dog. Never mind. Okay, peace.